Hi everybody, this is Brandon once again, and now I'm going to do my DVD and Blu-ray update for May of 2016. And in this one I have 31 DVDs and 4 Blu-rays. So yeah, this is going to be quite long. And I'm not going to tell you where I got all these, because this video would take way too long to explain it. Yeah. Sorry, I had to close the door. So, let's start out with the 4 Blu-rays. The first one stars Meryl Streep and Amy Adams. And I actually did watch this movie, and it is really good. And it's based on 2 true stories, and it's Julie and Julia. This is actually a pretty good movie, and I have seen, it's the story about, I know it's about Julia Child, but I'm trying to get Julie's last name. Right. So, Julie becomes this very big fan of Julia Child. Yeah, so, yeah. And she wants to make a whole bunch of recipes within a year. Like over 500 recipes in 365 days. And it's also about Julia Child's story too. So pretty much you get 2 stories for the price of 1 in this movie. And the movie is only a little over 2 hours, which you may think the movie would be rushed, but it actually kind of takes its time telling the stories. I thought the movie would be like 3 hours, because you can't fit like 2 true stories in one movie like that. Yeah, but they really go perfectly together. It's like 2 success stories turning into one. So yeah, Julie and Julia. The next one stars Jennifer Lawrence, and it's the second movie in the Hunger Games franchise. And it's The Hunger Games Catching Fire. And since I have the first one on Blu-ray, I want to get this one on Blu-ray too. And seeing how it's kind of a recent movie, I would want that. And I do have a big crush on Jennifer Lawrence, as some of you probably know. And in my opinion, this is the best movie in the Hunger Games franchise. At least that's my opinion. I know lots of people that do agree with me on that. But yeah, The Hunger Games Catching Fire. The next one is an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and this is one of my favorite movies from his. Actually, it's my 3rd favorite, along with Commando and Terminator 2. And it's Total Recall. This is like, this is the good version, not the crappy, Colin Farrell version. I do like Colin Farrell, but I thought the remake sucked. But this movie is a classic. I love the scene where he shoots his wife. Like, she says, "Oh, we're married." And then he shoots her in the head, and he says, "Considerita divorce." So over the top, but so cool. But yeah. Total Recall, the original. And this one, yeah, this is a classic, definitely a classic movie. I've seen this movie about 1 billion times. This is probably the movie I watched the most of. And yeah, stars Judy Garland, and you already know what this movie is. It's The Wizard of Oz 3D. Yes, this is the 3D Blu-ray of The Wizard of Oz, and this is the second 3D Blu-ray that I have. Sorry, can't talk today. Yeah. But, yeah. Of course, you all know what The Wizard of Oz is. If you don't, you should be in a mental institution. But, yeah. They actually changed the rating for the 3D version. Instead of G for the 2D version, it's rated PG for some scary moments. And there are many moments that would scare children in this. not counting the witch. I was never really scared of the witch when I was a kid. But I was always scared of Oz. The Oz head, and the flames, and the smoke, and his voice. Now I find him rather cool. That they actually pulled that off in a G-rated movie, at least PG now. But back then, in a G-rated movie, you could pretty much do anything you want. There was pretty much almost no rules. Yeah. So yeah, Wizard of Oz 3D. And it was only $5 at the store where I bought it from. So that's pretty cool, and I saw it in another store for $22. That's pretty weird. The next one, I've seen bits and pieces of, and it looks like it's going to be one of my favorite biopics. And it stars Ben Kingsley, and it's a winner of 9 Academy Awards, including Best Picture of 1982. Yeah. And it's Gandhi. Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of this on TV. Lots of TV channels will frequently play this. I forget what channel it was, but yeah. And this is a really cool slipcover because it's kind of see-through, and there's a whole bunch of people, and Gandhi is glowing. That's really cool. And the back of it is pretty cool too. Finally, I get a slipcover that's different from the actual case. Usually I get one that's exactly the same and just uses, it's a waste of paper. But this one is definitely, possibly my favorite slipcover, at least DVDs, at least what DVDs are concerned. Blu-ray is a whole other story, though. But yeah, Gandhi. This next one stars Bruce Willis, and it's part of the Die Hard franchise. And it's Die Hard 2 Die Harder. I have not seen any of the Die Hard movies yet, and I still don't have the first one, although, yeah. I do have Live Free or Die Hard, but I haven't watched that one yet because, you know, I haven't seen the first one yet. But I hope to get the first one sometime, and the third one. Never getting A Good Day to Die Hard. That movie... Ugh, that movie looks terrible. I'm never watching it. But yeah, this movie looks good, though. The other ones look pretty good. So yeah, Die Hard 2 Die Harder. The next one is a comedy starring Will Ferrell and Vince Vaughn and Luke Wilson. And it's Old School. This one I have seen before, like on TV, and it's a pretty funny movie. I like the part where Will Ferrell is naked during a party, and he says, "We're going streaking!" And he just starts running around the streets naked until his wife catches him, and he says, "Oh, we're streaking! We're about to, like, run something, something, something." And she says, "No, get in the car." And so he had to get in the car with a bunch of girls, and he was naked, and it was really awkward. So, yeah. Can't wait to watch this unrated cut of it. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more, like, raunchiness and hilarity in this one. So, yeah. Old School. The next one is a sequel to a movie that I have. And there's no, like, yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. What am I saying right now? And it's 28 weeks later, and I have 28 days later. So, yeah, I did want the sequel. So, yeah, so I got it. And I haven't seen 28 Days Later, so I haven't seen this one yet. But I hope to I hope to check both them out sometime. So yeah, 28 weeks later. The next one is a movie by my favorite film director. Yeah, I did find a favorite film director, Quentin Tarantino. Although, he didn't make my favorite movie. Robert Rodriguez did with Back to the Future, which is on my channel. You already know that. Yeah, it's on my description on my channel. But yeah. But otherwise, Tarantino is my favorite director. And I heard this was considered to be one of his worst movies, but I think it's... I mean, I've seen, like, a lot of his movies, and I love them all. And I'm sure I'm gonna love every movie he's done. I know I will, definitely. But it's Jackie Brown. Yeah, haven't seen this one yet, so I'll just move on. So, Jackie Brown. The next one is a movie starring Tom Cruise, and I haven't seen this one either, so, yeah. And it's The Last Samurai. So, yeah, The Last Samurai. This one is a Bruce Lee classic, and I've seen bits and pieces of this movie. It's the 25th anniversary special edition of Enter the Dragon, which is considered to be his best film. Which I'm sure definitely it will be. So, yeah. Enter the Dragon. The next one is a Rob Zombie movie, which I know Rob Zombie is considered to be one of the worst directors ever, and yeah, but his movies look pretty cool. And this... Oh, thought something was wiggling inside. No, there isn't. And this is the unrated director's cut of The Devil's Rejects. So yeah, I haven't watched this one yet either, so I'll just move on. So yeah, Devil's Rejects. This, and the next one stars Antonio Banderas and Salma Hayek. And it's a movie by Robert Rodriguez. And Robert Rodriguez is one of my favorite film directors, although he hasn't really made some good movies. Well, yeah. The Spy Kids 3 and 4 were bad. I mean, third one was pretty bad, but the fourth one was awful. And Shark Boy and Lava Girl is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. But some of his best movies are Planet Terror, Sin City, and the first Spy Kids. Second one was pretty good, too. But this, I'm sure, is going to be, like, one of his top-class movies. I heard it was. And it's Desperado. So, yeah, haven't seen this one yet either, so I'll just move on. So, yeah, Desperado. This next one stars Adrian Brody, Diane Lane, Ben Affleck, and Bob Hoskins. Yeah, and it's based on a true story of Hollywood's most notorious unsolved mystery. And it is Hollywoodland. So, I haven't watched this one yet either, so yeah, I'll move on. Hollywoodland. And the next one I actually did watch, and it was a pretty good romantic comedy. It stars Adam Goldberg and Julie Delpy, I don't know how to pronounce it. And it's directed by Julie Delpy or Delpy as well. And it's a comedy about love, family, and other disasters. And it's 2 Days in Paris. This is actually a pretty good movie. It looks like a movie I might hate. But I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, I like how much, like, Julie Delpy's father in the movie is such a pervert. And he makes all these, like, sexual, like, artifacts in a museum or whatever. Yeah. Like, a whole bunch of, like, sexual content in it. Yeah. Quite weird stuff. So, yeah. 2 Days in Paris. This one I also haven't seen yet, and it stars Kevin Bacon. And it's an inside look at how not to get a movie made. So yeah, and it's it has a hilarious and twisted all-star cast. And it's The Big Picture, which I haven't seen yet either, so I'll just move on. The Big Picture. And this one, the next one, is another Tarantino movie, and I did watch this one. And it stars Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kerry Washington, and Samuel Jackson. Yeah, and it's Django Unchained. I wanted to get the Blu-ray version of this, but this was such a good deal. It was like $5. I had to get the DVD version. And this isn't even an American release. It's Canadian. See that? 18A, brutal violence, gory scenes, disturbing content. Yep, it's a Canadian copy, but I did watch this on an American DVD player, and it worked perfectly. Like, there was nothing even wrong with it. And it is Region 1. Like, we have the same region as Canada, so I'm good to go when it comes to Canadian stuff. Yeah, and this was a phenomenal film. I love this movie. Yeah, it's about, like, Jamie Foxx as Django, and he plays a former slave, and Christoph Waltz, like, takes him in, and, like, he purchases him, and makes him a free man. And they go on, like, I forget. It's tough to remember some of the movies I watched. But yeah, this is a really good movie. And yeah, it is really long. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes, so nearly 3 hours. So if you're watching this movie and you have a short attention span, it's not for you. It's not for you if you can't handle, like, a movie this long. But it'll fly by pretty quickly. Just ask me. I'm a Tarantino fan, so yeah. And lots of his movies are quite long. Yeah. So yeah. Django Unchained. Phenomenal film. I highly recommend it. The next one stars George Clooney. And I heard this was supposed to be a really good thriller film, although I haven't seen it yet. And it's Michael Clayton. Like, yeah, haven't seen this one yet, so I'll move on. Michael Clayton. This next one I haven't watched either, and it stars Charlize Theron. I could never pronounce her name, I'm sorry. And it's, yeah, I believe it's, I don't really think this is a true story, but it might be. But I'm not sure. And it's North Country. So yeah, haven't seen this, so I'll move on. North Country. This next one is a Disney movie, but I've only seen bits and pieces of it growing up. And it stars Amy Adams and I believe Patrick Dempsey. And it's Enchanted. And I heard this was supposed to be a really good satire of Disney princess movies. Yeah. Yeah. And I am a big fan of Disney, and I do plan to go to Disney World in the next couple of years. Yeah. Enchanted. The next one I haven't seen yet either, but it stars one of my favorite actresses, Reese Witherspoon. And it says, sometimes what you're looking for is right where you left it. That's what it says on here. And it is Sweet Home Alabama. Not to be confused with the Lynyrd Skynyrd song of the same name, which is a classic song. But, yeah, haven't seen this one yet either, so yeah. Sweet Home Alabama. This next one I haven't seen either, and it stars Julia Roberts, and it's Mona Lisa Smile, and for some reason it came in this thin case. I wonder if this was like part of a set. But this movie does look interesting. I know it didn't get a lot of good reviews, but this movie does look interesting nonetheless. So yeah, Mona Lisa Smile. Ugh. This next one I did watch, and it stars Denzel Washington as Reuben Hurricane Carter. And it's The Hurricane. This is where he plays famous boxer Reuben Hurricane Carter. And he gets accused of a triple murder in a bar. And he gets sentenced to prison for nearly 20 years until he was dropped of the charges. And today, Reuben Carter fights for human rights, and he finally won an honorary boxing championship. Like several years after the trial. Yeah. So yeah, this is a really good movie. If you love Denzel Washington, you'll think it's one of his best performances, which it is. He won a Golden Globe for Best Actor, and I believe he got an Oscar nomination for this, but I could be wrong. But yeah, The Hurricane. Alright. The next one is a sequel to Meet the Parents, and it stars Robert De Niro, Ben Stiller, Dustin Hoffman, and Barbra Streisand. And it's Meet the Fockers. I know what that word sounds like. I'm not gonna say it. This is a family show. Remember, people. It's actually not. Anyone can watch my videos, whatever. No matter what age you are. But yeah, I haven't seen this one yet, and I also haven't seen Meet the Parents, which I bought like years ago and I never watched it. For some reason I never did. Some movies just sit on the shelf and you never watch them. Meet the Parents was one of those movies. But yeah. Meet the Fockers. The next one stars Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's a movie by Richard Kelly. And this is considered to be the most mind-bending movie ever made. And I've seen Memento, and the main menu is completely confusing. I didn't know what was going on with the main menu even. Like, you have to, like, select a word. I wonder what the main menu of this might be. One can only imagine. And it's the director's cut of Donnie Darko. So, yeah. Haven't seen this one yet, so I'll just move on. Donnie Darko. This next one is a Marilyn Monroe film made in 1959. And this is considered to be a cinematic classic. And yeah, this is the famous movie where she's in the white dress and she's on a subway grate and, like, you know what happens. They even made a Super Bowl commercial out of it with Willem Dafoe. Who's that genius who puts a girl in heels on a subway grate? Yeah, and it's Some Like It Hot. And I have seen bits and pieces of this, including the scene that I already talked about. Yeah, for a guy like me who's single and likes blonde chicks, that was heaven. I haven't watched the whole movie yet, so I may have to check it out sometime, so yeah. Some Like It Hot. This next one is a foreign film, starring Penelope Cruz, and I am not gonna bother, there's the foreign name, and in parentheses, there's the English name, so I'm just going to say the English name. And it's The Art of Beauty, or Belle Epoque. If any of you know how to pronounce it, leave it in the comments below. Yeah, 1 man, 4 women, a lot of romance. This looks interesting. And I thought that actor was Ray Liotta from Goodfellas. It looks like him from a distance. It looks like him, or Hugh Grant. Looks like Hugh Grant, kinda. But yeah, The Art of Beauty. This next one I loved watching when I was a kid, and yeah. And it is the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. And I do love this movie. It is awesome. It's way better than those crappy ones we have today. I only like this one, second one, and the 2007 version. Yeah, those are the only ones I like. The other ones, just strike them from the history books. I don't want to hear about them again. Yeah, I love the part in this movie where the pizza guy was late. He was a half hour late, and they didn't even give him enough money for the pizza. And they said, "Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza." And that's why I never get delivery. I always just call and get it to go. That's what I do, at least. So, yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza is great advice to learn. Because you don't want to pay full price for late pizza. It's not worth it. If they call you and say your pizza's going to be late, just don't bother paying the full price. Alright. This next one, I grew up knowing about, but I never actually watched this movie. But it does look really good. Looks like a very good kids movie, seeing how it's G-rated. And it's Black Beauty. I know it may seem crazy that I've never seen this movie, but yeah, I've never seen it. So yeah, Black Beauty. The next one stars Robert Downey Jr., Jude Law, Rachel McAdams, and Mark Strachan. And this is the first movie in the Sherlock Holmes franchise. I just gave it away. It's Sherlock Holmes, former Blockbuster rental. And Robert Downey Jr. is one of my favorite actors, mostly for his work in Tropic Thunder, which is my favorite movie of his, and Chaplin, where he plays Charlie Chaplin. I don't have the Charlie Chaplin movie yet, but I may have to look for that sometime. I could never find it anywhere I go. Maybe out of print. I don't know. But yeah, this looks like it should be one of his best films. At least to me. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty funny in some scenes. Yeah. I haven't watched this one yet, so I'll just move on. Sherlock Holmes. The next one is a 4-pack of movies, and one of these I already have. And it's Water Monsters, which has Anaconda, which I already have, and Blackwater, Redwater, and Sea Creature. All 3 of those movies I've never even heard of. Leave some comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on Blackwater, Redwater, and Sea Creature. Yeah. So, yeah. Water Monsters. The next one is considered to be one of the greatest movies ever made. And it's one of 2 Criterion Collection movies that I own. The first 2 I ever owned in in my entire life. And this is a movie by Akira Kurosawa, and it's considered to be his best film. And it's Seven Samurai, which I haven't watched yet, but I definitely plan on doing it soon. So yeah, Seven Samurai. These next two are part of a collection of 6 movies, and they are the Highway to Hell collection. Yeah. And it comes with The Craving, Hell's Highway, Feeding Grounds, Sheltered, Delirium, and The Ridge. Leave some comments down below. I've never heard of these movies. It comes on both discs, and the spines are different. One says Highway to Hell, the other one says 6 Collection. But I have to put them both in H. I know this one may seem like that would be kind of weird, but whatever. The Highway to Hell 6 movie collection. And the last one is another, is the next Criterion Collection DVD that I have in this update. And it's a movie by Ingmar Bergman. This one I don't think I've even heard of. And it's The Seventh Seal, which I haven't watched yet, and I don't think I've even heard of it, so yeah, I'll move on. The Seventh Seal. So, that's it for my DVD and Blu-ray update for May of 2016. Hope you all enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye.